Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. And as you can see from the title of this video, I have a couple of different topics that I want to cover in LAMH news, including Poker Face, Destiny Payton, and her life coach Dion. They appear to not be scared of a potential lawsuit regarding the GR word and the reunion for Love and Marriage Huntsville. And Wanda gives her interesting definition of not revenge P, but Pon P, and good old Marc. And I'm not talking about the rapper and actor Mark Wahlberg, but Melody Cherie's brother Marc. He has gone live on Instagram to address Miss Wanda and just talk about the significance, what an impact Love and Marriage Huntsville has done for that city. Now, before we get into these topics, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video. Please subscribe to the channel. And I thank you so much for being here. Everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on Marc's Instagram Live, Wanda's Instagram Live, and Destiny and Dion's YouTube Live, it is all okay. It is within fair use. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So Melody Cherie's brother Marc, he went live today on Instagram. I was actually wrapping up at the gym when he went live, but I did catch it once I got home. And he was talking about, just giving more kudos to his baby sister, Melody, for pitching this show, Love and Marriage Huntsville. We all know that it had a different vision, a different concept, but it was her initial pitch that led to where we are right now. And he said, who is really thinking about Huntsville? Obviously, I'm paraphrasing. And I want to say that Marc has a point. So when we think of meccas, major cities where Black people are thriving, we think of Atlanta, we think of Houston, you think of Chicago, or at least I do. Now, my dad is from Alabama, and my cousins, when they were educated, the ones that grew up in Alabama, they were educated in Alabama. So I know what it has to offer, but am I just thinking like, yeah, I would love to see some Black professionals film a reality TV show in Huntsville, Alabama? Was that ever my mindset? No. But thankfully, because Melody had a goal of being on television and she pitched a show to Carlos King, it just really opened my eyes. And I said, you know what? NASA is in Alabama. When I think of engineers, I initially always think of the auto industry. And here in Detroit, there's not just Motown, there's not just the mortgage industry, but there is the auto industry, which became a game changer for like my parents. And a lot of Black parents sent their kids to college, with the husbands having those factory jobs. And some households, the women worked in the auto plants as well. But there are also the engineers for the big three, the automotive design. If you design cars, one of my sisters does that role in the automotive industry. But from watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, learning about Rocket City, its nickname, and thinking, yeah, duh, NASA is in Alabama. Now I know that the city with the largest population of Black engineers, it's not anywhere in the north. It's not Detroit, it's Huntsville, Alabama. And it actually has nothing to do with the automotive industry. That is science. So I think that that's very interesting, and it opened up my eyes. And so I think even for, the subgroups that are anti-Melody Cherie, if you compartmentalize what Marc is saying, thankfully to Melody's goal of being on television, we now have another Black city that we know where our people thrive. And that is a potential location that you could relocate to if you wanted to, for an improved life or a new career or an advanced career in engineering. things that you weren't thinking about prior to the show being on the air. So I thought that that was definitely noteworthy. It's in fact a conversation that we do not have often. Just even, my mind also went to Belt Collective when I was watching him. And I thought of, yeah, because although my brother, he graduated from Jackson State, Jackson, Mississippi is not a city that I'm thinking, oh yeah, Black people are doing great down there. But I was thankful for the show because we got to meet Latrice, and she owns her very successful hair line. And she said that she started out selling her hair right out of her car. It was giving Master P, and we know what a multimillionaire he is. So I definitely think that that's a huge point about, Huntsville not really being on our radar until Love and Marriage Huntsville debuted. Also, Marc brought up Wanda because she addressed him in her YouTube live last night. And Marc talked about how he said that when he first was introduced to her on the show, he saw her scenes. He said he liked her. He thought that she was hilarious and had a great sense of humor. But then he noted how she moves on social media, on Instagram and YouTube, and the really mean, nasty things that she has said, about Melody. And he said that he thinks that she actually, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously, that she actually does herself a disservice because it comes off so unprofessional and so mean that any professional producer may have pause about working with her because they think, wow, if she gets mad at me or gets mad at the other on-air talent, she just may totally go in, and you don't know if that could be a potential turnoff to some advertisers. So that was a point that Marc brought up. And I want to say, I think that it really speaks to Marc's business mind, the way that he sees things, and his insight into Wanda and her content that she creates. I thought that that was very interesting. He's thinking from a business perspective, and he's thinking regarding a very bigger picture. If he was a producer of a show, he'd have pause about booking Wanda for a TV show because of how she moves off the show. And for those of us who work in corporate America, we can relate to that. Like you don't want to be moving all crazy on your social media because now these companies, they hire people, they pay them to kind of police all of the employees' social media to see who's just out here wreaking havoc online because they don't want you misrepresenting the company. And I've seen it in real time ever since 45, now 47, the unprofessionalism that he has brought to social media. I've seen, black and white employees go at it on each other's Facebook pages, and then they have to, address it on the job. So, that is a thing in corporate America, and Marc is relating it to on-air talent of reality TV shows. So I think that he made an excellent point. And then that's how basically, it's not like Wanda is this reoccurring current on-air talent on a show, and it's not like at the point where she has a PR person that would say, please, if you're going to go live, just kind of water down what you say, where you're not getting into children's paternity or anyone's sex life from years ago, was saying if people are really related, any of those things. Just try to just stick to what is entertaining and makes people laugh without really going dark, So, but I think if she was a person that would have like a PR team, public relations specialist, perhaps, the way she moves on social media would be totally different. But those were some highlights, some things that I took away from Marc's Instagram Live. I love his intellect. And I just think he's a great guy. And this is just a side note. Like one of my dearest friends, he's gay, and I feel like if I could take the intellect from a gay man, as well as how well they take care of their bodies and how well they dress, and I put those things on a straight man, I think that dating would be less horrendous and painful. But I don't know how I can do that. I always think about on Family Matters when Steve Urkel would step inside that machine and he would come out Stefan. There's just so many straight men I know that I just want to round up and put in that machine so they can come out and actually talk and live their lives like they have some sense. But I digress. So let's go ahead and talk about Wanda's YouTube live. Now, I wanted to get a shot of her pin curl hairstyle. Of course, we all know that Wanda loves the 90s hairstyles, from the pin curl ponytails, the pin curl French rolls, to the finger waves. And when I saw when she kind of like bowed her head and I was able to grab this screenshot of her pin curls, it just took me back to the 90s. I just wanted to double check and make sure that my homework was all done. I wanted to make sure that I did my homework, that I did not forget anything, that I had my pencil box, my backpack, my high top sneakers. And yeah, she just takes me back and I love it. It is so nostalgic with her hairdos and her pin curls. Okay. But I wrote down a couple of notes that Wanda was saying. Now, she actually said that some cast members blame Carlos King for everything. You know, I guess trying to say people pin everything on Carlos. Meanwhile, her son-in-law, you know, insinuated that production was lazy, meaning the laziness comes from just looking at any messy things that people may post on social media and producing from that perspective instead of turning on the camera and filming the cast in their reality and going from there. And so, yet she is saying that some cast members blame Carlos King. She did not explicitly say her son in law, but I thought that was interesting. Now, Wanda thinks that there is no revenge P when you know the person is recording you while you're in the act, or you know that they're taking a picture. So Wanda is very mistaken on what she calls Pon P. And I assume Pon P is revenge P. So because obviously she's been watching us bloggers and we're not trying to say the word because YouTube doesn't like it. So we say revenge P. She calls it Pon P. Now, Wanda, that's the whole point of it being revenge. You do know that the person that you were married to or you were dating, you deeply cared about them. Yeah, you knew that they were taking the picture or recording you because you loved them. You were trying to satisfy them, and that was what they wanted to do. Yes, you knew that they were taking the picture or recording you, but when they want to show other people the image or the video, when they want to post it on a public platform because they are mad at you, that makes it revenge P. Is when they're taking something intimate and private that the two of you are doing and they want to show it to the world. That is doing something in a vengeful way that makes it revenge P, ma'am. Not the fact that you know that they're taking the picture, it's the intent behind how they are showing it. They're not keeping it in their device for something that they want to look at and admire your body, admire your the way that you're made, but they want to show it to others to humiliate you. That's what makes it revenge P. So I just wanted to point that out. And because what amazes me about Wanda is that she's really serious when she says these things. And so I wish people would converse with her and kind of explain things to her. It just seems like, um, I can tell she has conversation with Tisha or someone when she's gonna go live because she said during her live, yeah, they told me not to say who the special guest will be on part 3 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I know that she has conversation prior to when she goes live, but I can tell nobody helps her like think things through or explain things to her. So even when they think that they are using her as their mouthpiece or to put people on blast, at the same time, they do her a disservice when they let her look foolish because she does not understand the definition of revenge P. All right, let's move right along. So then we have the not poker champions, definitely poker players. They definitely entered the competition, but they are no princess from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, okay? They are no Ben Affleck, all right? That is how Jennifer Lopez's mom, Miss Guadalupe, that's how she bonded with Ben Affleck over their love for gambling. He loves to play poker, but these two, their poker faces, nah, not at all. Okay. So they are definitely trying to imply that they ain't scared, of a potential lawsuit. This was during Destiny's most recent YouTube live where they talked about part 2 of the reunion for Love and Marriage Huntsville. And Dion did, most of the talking, and she said that, in order for there to be a lawsuit, you would have to, defame someone. You would have to be telling a lie. And Destiny, of course, as you all have seen other amazing, wonderful bloggers give commentary on, she was saying that she could have used a better word. Now, I don't really think that that's a defense if you do get caught up in a lawsuit. That sounds more like you've been enlightened or you've taken the time to think about your actions and what you said on camera, and you realize you could have used a better word. And then you claim that you gave other examples to try and clarify, but that did not make the edit. Unfortunately, though, Destiny, you did sit there and you used the GR word, and like you said in your YouTube live, especially in this Diddy climate. Well, this whole Diddy situation has been going on for well over a year, from when Cassie sued him and the hotel footage came out. So way before you all filmed the reunion last year, you knew what time it was in terms of a climate. Even before Diddy, there was Epstein. So why would you mess around and play with that GR word? Even before that, there was Aura, Kelly. Because, amongst content creators, I have heard that YouTube don't even like for you to say his name. So we've been in this climate for a few years now. So why would you even play with that GR word like that? So I thought the poker face was definitely interesting. Oh my gosh. If it was me, I would have either just not addressed it at all, or I would have been humble and I would have said, oh my gosh, I made a huge mistake. And, the reunions are performative. And I would have not gone the poker face route. I would have gone let me treat this like it's a Black Baptist church and they are just condemning me, the woman, for getting pregnant before marriage and not the guy. Let me just go up front and apologize. And I would have said, I was being performative for the reunion, and then later, I realized, because I am a spiritual person, I was convicted and I realized I was wrong. I made a mistake, because I'm thinking about, if it was me, my thought process, I do feel like I would have been convicted if I said such things. And I just want to say the whole kiss and tell thing is really, really whack. And because I'm not 100% convinced that it happened. I mean, I guess it sounds like it did, I guess, but the whole limousine thing. But even if it did and you saw it, why tell? I know you're not doing the kissing, But still, why tell what somebody else does? I just think that's so whack. I think it's so whack, and you knew who would really get burned, and I think it was performative for the reunion. And, like you all have said, they thought that it was going to be the storyline for this current season that they are filming. But because Melody quit the show, they have lost the biggest punching bag ever created. So now they're going to have to actually share their reality and let the cameras follow them. And hopefully, it won't come off scripted. But who cares at this point, right? The star has left the building. But what did you all think of these three stories? What did you think about Marc's Instagram live? What do you think about Wanda giving her definition of Pon P? And did you believe Destiny and Dion's poker face when it comes to potential lawsuits? I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to the show's Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. Tomorrow is already Wednesday. I am definitely thankful. It will be a wonderful Wednesday. And work was good and the gym was good. And I feel like, I was like, wow, I have a lot of work to do tonight. There's quite a few stories to report on. So I am thankful to be at this point where I can talk about my day. And I am just sipping on a ginger turmeric tea. I just take the ground ginger and turmeric and put it in the cup. And after the water is hot, I pour it in and put honey in. So it's so good. But yeah, I'm just going to chill and have a good night. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.